Hello everyone. We are here on Fish Factory Road in Oak Island, and we're here to talk about the Cape Fear Yacht Club. My guest is Linda Schrum. She is the Commodore of the Cape Fear Yacht Club. Linda, welcome to our show.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting us.
We've just had a great afternoon on the water already.
Yeah, we have. It's been wonderful to see the kids out there learning how to sail and all their enthusiasm and how they were entertaining you. You do know that, don't you?
Had a great afternoon, and we have a lot of pictures to show during our show.
Awesome.
We're here at your yacht club now to talk a little bit about the numerous youth that you guys serve every summer.
Yeah, we're blessed. Our club was founded in 1994, and for 25 years now we have been in the community of Oak Island and Southport. We were founded by a bunch of sailors. A year and a half after the club was founded, we started our first youth sailing program, and we have been training the youth for 22 years.
Wow. Let's tell our viewers a little more about it. You have 6 classes every summer.
We usually try to have at least 6,
Okay.
sometimes maybe more than that.
Mm-hmm.
At probably the low end of the spectrum would be with 10 students. We have a pretty big fleet of sailboats. We have 420s and we have Opties. I'll let someone else tell you a little bit more about the boats.
Okay.
They have classroom sections, and then they have a lot of on-the-water sections. A lot of them come in very intimidated on day one, on Monday.
Let's talk about how old the youth are.
They start at 9 and go up to 16.
All right. Let's talk about what they do before they land on the water, because there's plenty of education that begins.
They must be able to swim.
Okay.
They have a lot of classroom instruction that goes on. Joe, who's one of our lead instructors, could tell you a lot more about that. They teach them how to do the lines on a boat. They teach them how to ride a boat. They take them out on the first day and roll them over in the water so they know that they can right themselves and be safe and move on. So the kids, we want them to learn a lot about how to be safe on the water and to encourage others to come back and take lessons with us as well, so they can also
Let's talk a little bit
safe.
about the wildlife basin, so our viewers will know just where we are.
We're in South Harbor,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a launch opportunity for the community of Oak Island and Southport, because we have a public launch over here,
Mm-hmm.
but we operate our program from the beach and have since its inception. We take our boats down to the beach, and we have a lot of volunteers that are in the club, members that come out and help.
Experienced sailors.
Right.
Yeah.
They come out and help with, it's a lot of asset moving around, because you have the boats that have to be moved from the safe location of being stored to out to the beach, and then they have to secure them every day at the end of the day to make sure that everything is there the next day.
I want to get this right. You're the Cape Fear Yacht Club, but you also work in conjunction with the Oak Island Parks and Recreation.
That's correct. Parks and Rec works with us in registering the students and in paying our instructors. All of our instructors pretty much are former students that have come back and are teaching in our program, which is one of the things that we're very happy about. But they handle the payroll, because we're a nonprofit, and so we don't have a payroll system set up here.
But you do have expenses, so let's tell our viewers about that, because there may be viewers out there that decide to support you.
Yeah, we do. We operate, our classroom is inside our clubhouse here at the Yacht Club. And of course we have the maintenance of the clubhouse, but we also have the maintenance of the boats, and we have just increased our fleet in the last year to include 12 more 420s. And so we're in the process of trying to build a bigger fleet so that we can educate more students. We can educate them on different levels, because we also have Opties and that are smaller boats that are about the size of a bathtub that the students start in, and then when they get more proficient with being on the water, then they'll go into the 420s.
Linda, I've learned that your students show up on Monday and they're pretty anxious and know very little, and by Friday they're confident sailors.
They
Tell us
are.
more about
They
that.
are. They can't wait to share their experiences. Most of them want to come back the next week or the next summer. We have a lot of return people, but they don't feel that way on Monday.
Right.
On Monday they're kind of shaky. A lot of them are not even sure they want to take sailing lessons, but by the time Joe and the rest of them get finished with them, they're very happy about what they're doing.
Linda,
and we feel good about it too.
Thank you for being with us, and we'll be right back. We're back, and I'm speaking with Joe Harrison. Joe, you're the lead instructor of these young sailors out on the water, right?
Yes, sir.
What are your duties? What do you do?
So I'm going to be in charge of training them, making sure everybody's safe. Most of the classroom sessions, making sure we get the power boats in and out of the water.
Right.
Any logistics, I'll just kind of be making sure that things are running smoothly and that we have a good day.
Let's talk about what actually goes on the water. We have 6 or 8 or more small sailboats. We have some safety boats. Is that what they're called?
Yeah, safety boats. Yeah, we've got a Boston whaler and a Carolina skiff.
And they're generally circling around to make sure that all is going well.
Yes, they are.
The kids in the sailboats turn them over every now and then, right?
Yes, they do.
How do you teach them otherwise?
So yeah, every Monday we'll get them out there and we'll do a drill, and we will capsize their boat. They'll swim around to the back and they'll push down on their centerboard or daggerboard and they'll right their boat up.
So that's one of the first things you teach them,
It's one of the first things we teach them, because that's probably one of the more scary things they can do out there. And as soon as that's out of the way, then there's not much else to be too worried about out there.
On most days you have good wind, right?
Yes, hopefully.
And you spend most of your day actually out on the water.
Absolutely.
Right. Let's talk about values. These kids are learning a lot. They really are. And not just how to sail, but how to work together, the meaning of discipline, safety on the water. Talk about a few of those things if you would.
Yeah, and also teamwork, camaraderie.
Sure. Absolutely.
And just kind of taking pride in something and really embracing a new part. Well,
that's okay.
Learning a new chapter of something.
You began as a young student in this program, did you not?
I did.
5 or 6 years ago?
No, 11 or 12 years ago.
Come on.
Yeah.
Okay. You're leaving. You're not leaving the program, but you're moving on to other things very soon. Am I right?
You are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be graduating from college coming up next year, next May, and then sometime either 2 weeks after that or up to a year after that, I'll be heading off to flight school in the Air Force.
Well, we're proud of you. That's great.
Thank you.
Let's talk about the other students, though. These young students turn 15, 16. They move on into other endeavors, but they take with them a lot of skill, do they not?
They do. Yeah, definitely sailing is something, once you learn it, it's kind of like a bicycle, and you can come back to that anytime.
It's a lifetime endeavor if you choose to make it so.
And absolutely, the things that they learn on that boat is very applicable to anything they do.
Right, right. Joe, thank you for being with us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we'll be back in just a moment.
We use the grant funds to purchase 2 ventilation saws. It's a souped-up chainsaw, and it makes cutting a hole a lot quicker. With an axe, it'll take several minutes. With a chainsaw, it is like a 1 to 2 minute ordeal, and that way a victim has as good a chance as we can give them to survive. It's very competitive for the fire department to get money. It is very competitive and it is hard. And ATMC joins with other charities and nonprofits to make sure people get what they need. ATMC was started in 1955 to take care of the communication needs. And this is just one more step in how they help this county.
We're back in our final segments with our youth sailing director, Billy Coleman. Billy, welcome to our show.
Thank you very much, Jim. It's good to be here.
I've had a great afternoon with all of you guys out on the water and here at your clubhouse. But let's talk about the future. One of the things that one of you mentioned to me was the golf tournament. Let's talk about that for a second.
Okay, our program is funded 2 different ways. The youth that join the program pay an entry fee. It's about $120 to the town of Oak Island. That goes to pay our instructors. Everything else, all of the assets, the hard assets, the boats, the trailers, the safety boats and all, that belongs to the Yacht Club. And we have been able to get this fleet of 27 boats now through donations and through fundraising work. We have a member, Ray Boland, that works very hard with the Youth Sail program. He's put together a golf tournament that will draw in anywhere from 100, 120 players each
Yeah.
time we do that. It's kind of special because it's known as the steak tournament. We serve prime rib that
Whoa.
yours truly gets to prepare. And
Yeah.
a friend of mine work on that, but we do a really good job with that. We'll raise $7,000 to $10,000, and that will go a long way toward maintaining these boats.
Sure. And you do have to maintain these boats.
We definitely have to maintain them. If you were out here on Monday, day one, you'll see that they do come together a lot. They damage things, but by this time, you know, they're doing pretty well. They're not really
Sure.
banging the boats up. And there's just the normal wear and tear. The 420s are rather high performance sailboats, and they're under a stressful time the whole time they're using them.
Tell our viewers about any other fundraising. I mean, it's an expensive proposition to train all these kids and turn them into sailors. You have other money-raising endeavors?
Absolutely.
You're a 501c3.
We are a 501c3 corporation.
And you'd
so
welcome any
therefore,
contributions?
we welcome contributions.
Right.
We have had some boat contributions. As a matter of fact, the Boston Whaler that you saw on the water today was donated years back by a couple that were members, and
Yeah.
they just wanted to help out with the youth sail program.
Billy, talk about the SAIL, S-A-I-L, sponsorships, which I think is very interesting.
Okay, we have a sail sponsorship where for $1,500 a year, you can, or the first year, you can have your company logo put on the sail of one of the 420s. This has gone over very well. We've got 5 of them for this year, and we've got some more that are already interested in coming in for next year. And as a matter of fact, we had a great time today. To give them a shameful plug, Oliver's Restaurant over on the Cape Fear River, as we were going by,
Excellent.
one of the sail instructors called and said, "We just wanted to let you know the boat you're sponsoring is out in front." And the owner was there, and she was already looking at it and showing her customers. So
See, that's a great story.
it's,
And do you have a few sailboats with a few empty sails?
we have many
So to
sailboats with
speak.
empty sails. So
Yeah.
we welcome any sponsors that would be interested in this to contact the Yacht Club. You can go to our website, capefearyachtclub.com, and we'll be glad to talk with you about it and let you know exactly what we do and what type of sponsorships are available.
It's a great story. I've had a great afternoon with you guys.
Thank you
Thanks
very
so much
much.
for being
It's
with
great
us.
being on the water
Cape
with you.
Fear Yacht Club.
Thank you.
The LC Outreach Project was established in loving memory of my grandfather, Lorenzo Clemens, who was a fine Christian educated businessman here in Southport. The organization was created as a solution to the myriad of problems that our at-risk youth population here in Brunswick County, the issues that they face. ASEEP, A-S-E-E-P, the acronym stands for Alternatives for Students to Enhance Education Programs. Those programs consist of academic and tutoring summer camp, as well as an after-school program.
It has made a large impact for the kids. They're able to maintain a lot of the information they've learned from the previous school year, and they're able to carry that to the new school year. Last year we had over 40 kids. This year we've had over 70 kids.
Statistics show that students who are not engaged academically during the summer months while out of school, they tend to regress and lose some of the information they learned the previous year.
We are a nonprofit, so any donations that the community is willing to help us out with is great. To receive this grant from ATMC means the world to us. They help us provide our curriculums to get different tangible items that we'll need to help the program flourish, so it's greatly appreciated.
0. I am here with Kate Gomes. Kate is the clinical director of the Palms Health and Wellness. Did I get that right?
Yes, you did.
All right. Kate, thanks for being with us. The Palms has a good story to tell here in our county, and I'm glad that you're with us to tell it today. You've established a good foothold in the community already, but you've just begun, as I understand it. Tell us what the Palms is all about.
The Palms was started with the purchase of the Old Brunswick Hospital with the intent of opening up a substance abuse treatment facility. But initially, we had to figure out how to rehab the old hospital building, which has some physical problems.
Sure.
So we started out with opening up an outpatient program, and our outpatient program offers outpatient substance abuse treatment, mental health treatment. We are licensed to do substance abuse intensive outpatient and ambulatory detox. Now, the the services we're currently offering are all of the outpatient services, and especially the ambulatory detox is something that I want to talk about today.
And I want to get into that too. Let's let our viewers know that we're here at the hospital as we speak. Your facilities are here within the building, and even though the rest of the building is unoccupied, over the months and years, you hope that it'll be a full-time, good-sized facility for detox and for substance abuse treatment.
Our goal is to open up, many services, the first of which is going to be an inpatient detox program, followed by other substance abuse treatment inpatient, and maybe even some other types of services.
Well, let's break that down. Let's talk about your ambulatory detox program. And I interpreted ambulatory to mean that one could come and go. So tell us about the ambulatory detox program.
Ambulatory detox is something unique in this whole area, but is done in other places in the country. The only inpatient detox programs available to Brunswick County residents are located in New Hanover County and Wilmington, or in South Carolina.
But this is outpatient.
Since we don't have that service, we went with opening up an outpatient detox, which is very intensive. Individuals come and spend 5 days. They come and they go. They don't live here. But they have to have a detox coach with them, somebody that watches them and is on top of them constantly while they are not in the building. Their coach gets training in substance abuse treatment.
I didn't know that. That's very interesting.
And as well as the client.
So each client brings with him or her another person close to that person who, they're a coach.
We call them a detox coach. They sign an agreement, they understand the role that they're playing, and they attend treatment right along with the client. And they're
an advocate of sorts.
Yes, yes, an advocate, but also eyes on, ears on. So, because withdrawal and detox are very tough, periods for someone, and the relapse rate is very, very high.
So for the first 5 days, it's pretty intensive, and then the intensity at least lessens some over the weeks to come.
So during the 5 days, we work with the individual and their detox coach on the different types of situations that happen in withdrawal, what addiction is about, what it is that treatment is, and how to enter recovery. And then toward the end of the week, we work with them on, all right, what are you going to do now? Are you going to continue in treatment in outpatient here? Do you want to go to an inpatient facility for the rest of this? What is it that you need, and what is it that your financial capability will handle?
Now, for the hypothetical patient, he or she is here with office visits. Is that could I call it an office visit for counseling?
Office visit for counseling.
But I want to make the point that a physician and nurse are also available. Could you speak to that?
Right, we do have a doctor and a nurse, and it's pretty unique because in order to launch this service, we've got a doctor and a nurse that volunteer to do this.
Wow.
And they do a medical assessment, they monitor, we check blood pressure and all the withdrawal symptoms. There are checklists that they go through.
So really it's much more than just the counseling, although that's a critical part of it.
Absolutely, because we've got to know that this individual is safe.
Sure.
Withdrawal is a difficult time. A lot of people go through withdrawal on their own, because they really can't get into detox or can't afford it, don't want to be in an inpatient facility, or don't want that on their record. So they'll just do it at home, and chances of relapsing when you do it that way, probably 80% won't make it. So at least if we are working with them and their detox coach on a daily basis and monitoring them, and if we find any medical issue coming up, we're going to get them into the hospital right away. They all receive, all the detox coaches, not the client, receive a naloxone, and in case something happens. But for the most part, they are just really extensively monitored, and it's been going very well. We've had a few people go through this process. We opened in May, quietly.
Sure.
But now we're ready to really rev it up.
I'm changing subjects on you a little bit, but let's talk about the fact that addiction is a medical condition. It's not necessarily a sign of my weakness or my inadequacy. It is a true medical condition. Talk about, I need for our viewers to understand that.
Individuals start out recreationally or even medically in treatment for an injury with using especially opioids, but this will happen with alcohol and other anxiety medications like benzodiazepines. It's a very insidious type of thing.
It's a good word.
Because one day, you stop taking the medication, or you run out of medication, and you end up sick. And that sickness is what we call withdrawal, and that simply means your body has adjusted, and more specifically your brain has adjusted to that particular chemical being present, and if it's not, then all the neurochemistry goes out of whack and you end up being sick. And that's when people tend to...
But it's not a matter of my being weak or inadequate at that
It's not
point.
a moral thing.
Thank you. That's where I'm trying to go.
It's a physiological condition where your body has adjusted to the presence of a chemical.
Right. You and your office offer other substance abuse treatment. Let's talk about some of the others.
Okay, well, we offer, of course, outpatient treatment, and also some trauma therapy and just regular mental health treatment. The substance abuse treatment has to do with, for some people, staying clean, because even after you're through with withdrawals and been in recovery even for a while, issues come up and life throws problems at you and you struggle.
I'm not sure if I made this clear, but does your office deal with with alcohol abuse and other substances?
Alcohol abuse, and the big ones are, of course, opiates, which is our biggest problem, but also alcohol.
Right.
And lots of alcohol.
Sure.
With actually the older population. Because when people retire, they tend to up their drinking.
Interesting. Interesting.
Golf course, 19th hole.
Sure. But that reminds me of an item of data that we were talking about before we went on the air, and that is that addiction rates among the 45 to 50 to 60 group among opioids is among the highest. Talk about that for a second.
That's a surprising statistic, but that's been proven to be that, particularly with the opioid addictions.
But why is that?
And alcohol.
Explain that to us.
Well, it's two reasons. For the opioids, when people have worked hard labor or physical labor for their career or their occupation, as they reach their 40s and 50s, the body tends to give out. If you've worked on a injuries, knees, hips, shoulders, that's when you start to see the folks go into the orthopedist and oh, this hurts, that hurts, and they've been getting pain pills. Sometimes people have been getting pain pills for many years, and that's what keeps them going. They continue to use basically to be able to continue to work.
They want to work, yeah.
And then
over time,
it gets to the point where the opioids don't work anymore, And on top of that, you're dependent on a medication. Or the doctor says, oh, I can't give you it anymore, or I can't give you more. Or you took them all within 10 days and I gave you 30 days worth.
And
What's
we also talked about the youth and the fact that a significant percentage of high schoolers have tried opioids. Talk about that.
For many years, kids were scared of painkiller drugs, heroin, or things like that, you know, because of the way that society looked at them. But now, kids are not scared anymore, and they will easily use opiates. 1 in 5 high school seniors nationally, that's a national statistic, have tried opiates recreationally, not for physical
and not much
pain.
reason to believe it's any different here in Brunswick County.
Not much reason.
Right. Let's take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Okay.
Stay connected with your community channel. Like ATMC TV on Facebook today.
Okay, we're back. The one subject that we haven't talked about for just a moment or two is payment. How do your clients pay for their services, or how do you charge?
We accept every insurance. We're mostly impaneled with, you know, most of the major
Good.
insurance companies.
Excellent.
So insurance is, you know,
It's an integral part of what you do.
is an integral part of what we do.
Sure.
Where we haven't been paneled is with Medicaid, and there is an opening now in October for us to apply to be a Medicaid provider. So that's what we're going to do. And ambulatory detox is covered by that, although
Good.
insurance does not cover that particular service.
I see.
So it's a cash-pay service.
Uh-huh.
But considering the fee we charge for the amount of service that it is, and for the people involved, and the comparable fee for inpatient treatment, it's a very low fee.
Excellent. You're part of the larger health providing community here in Brunswick County. Do you have intake and referral to and from other agencies? Talk about that for just a moment.
We get referrals from many of the doctors in the area, and also some of the other treatment facilities like Coastal Horizons will refer their Medicare,
Sure.
some of their Medicare, because we do serve Medicare clients as well. If somebody comes in and we are unable to provide the services for them, we will look for another office or another provider to be able to serve that person. So we will send them. I've been in this community a long time, and I have like a lot of tentacles.
Sure.
So
Sure.
I will sort of make it happen for them if they can't attend treatment here.
Let's let our viewers know you are the Palms Health and Wellness. I'm sure you're online and have a website, and we'll provide that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Kate, thank you for being
Thank
with
you.
us. It's a great story that you have to tell.
Thank you. We hope to be bigger and better in Brunswick County.
I'm sure. Thanks again.